Okay, good morning, everyone. So today we are going to take about the training for the FINTRAC update. So without any delay, let's start. The agenda for today's training. So first one, why this update is matters. So we're going to quickly introduce why we should take this training. Second one, the training first update, the new rule, you use the agent or mandatory. So next one is a new rule for the unrepresented party. It's SRP. The fourth one is our office, what we did for this new rule changes. So the fifth one is a case study. So is there any normal transaction we should to be careful? So we're going to quickly give you the few case studies. So last one, question and answer. So let's start. So it's very important because since October 1st, the new rule is going to be applied. So we have to quickly get the training, let everybody know. And so that's why this is a new update, it matters. The next one, FINTRAC. The update is FINTRAC money laundering and the terrorist financing. So it's very important. So the reason we have to take the training is because the lot of the brokerage agent, they get a penalty. So we don't want to get any penalty. So we don't want to, because of lack of the knowledge, we get the penalty. So the last one, and the broker and the agent, we have directly responsibility for the compliance. So we should to know what the compliance we should to do before we, trying to avoid any mistake. Here is a few sample. I think a lot of the time we receive the email from the FINTRAC, from the Home Life Head Office. So there's a lot of the brokerage because they failing to complain, the FINTRAC complaint. So that's why they get a penalty. And so we don't want to get a penalty. So the most of the penalty amount is huge. See the last one, the brokerage in the Toronto, they get a penalty is almost like $100,000. And next one, the new rule, the first new rule one, use agent or mandatory. Before October 1st, so the new rule is only apply the mandatory, agent mandatory is for the individual. So after October 1st, if you represent any client, they are corporation, they are not individual. We have to use agent and our mandatory to verify their ID. So lots of the people may not even know what's this for. So let's give you the form. Let's say if you have the buyer or seller, any client, you never meet them. They are in overseas, out of the province, out of the town, you never meet them. But by the FINTRAC requirement, you have to get some professional people to verify their ID. So let's say you have a buyer in China, you never know them, and they want to buy the property, they want to sell the property. So we have to use a form, it's called the Identification Mandatory Agent Agreement, to let the professional people, like a lawyer, accountant, or any of the professional people to verify the client. So that is the form we use for 632, identification for the mandatory. And a lot of people you never use, and this is before it's for the individual. That means for the any individual person. But after October 1st, we have to use for other than individual person. For the corporation, we have to use as that form to verify. So other than this form, there's another form. It's called 633. Before we go that, I will go back one more time. Remember, if you have any client, maybe they are using the personal name to buy the property, to sell the property, or in the future, if they're using the corporation name to buy or sell, you have to verify using the agent from the near to their to the client. So that's the 633 is the consent letter. That means your client, they agree, they acknowledge, they allowed the third party to verify their information. So that is the first update. We quickly to update the first one. Because a lot of the people, you have a client, you know them very well, maybe the repeat client. So you know them, maybe in the town, like in Toronto, you can easily to verify them, to see them, to meet with them, check the ID, check the their information. So you don't need to using the you don't need using the form 632. So the next one is very important because in the recently I get lots of the phone call from our office, especially for the listing agent. The agent said, I have a listing, but there's someone, they call me, they said, I don't have an agent and I don't want the agent. I want to buy from myself. So that is called a self-represented party. And by the new rules, we have to verify, we have to fill all the information. We have to, to know who is the person. So that's why the second update is for the unrepresented party. The first one, the brokerage must have verified the identity of the unrepresented party. That means we are not only to assist them to prepare the offer. With the listing agent, someone they said, oh, I don't have an agent. I don't want agent. I only want myself to represent myself. That's fine. We don't want to refuse any business if they have an interest to buy. But at the same time, we have to explain to them what is the procedure for SRP, self-represented party. So the first one, we need to get a form. The form in our office, we already help every agent to upload to the template. The second one, when we prepare the offer, we have to verify their ID. So we have to use a FINTRAC identification form to verify them. And the next one, we have to document all the information and create the transaction file with your record. And for the brokerage, because in any of the update, any of the change in the brokerage level, we have to update the forms. We have to update the policy. So that's why, in our office, we already update. If you're the listing agent, you're using the office template to create a transaction for the listing, you will see there's a new forms recently we add in the transaction. It's called the information and the disclosure to the self-represented party. The mean is if there's anyone, they don't have an agent, we have to use this form to let them know their right. We are only to assess them. We are not to give the advice. We are not to give the suggestion. So you should know very clearly your role. You are the listing agent to help the seller. If there's anyone, they don't have an agent, they don't want to have an agent. So we can treat them as self-represented party. We have some agent in the business for a while. They call me, they said, oh, where's the form? It's called a customer service. Because we don't have a customer service based on the new change update for the trash update. So there's no more customer service. If you're in the business for many years, lots of people using the form is called customer service. There's no more. So right now there's a self-represented party will replace customer service. So first one, introduce their right. They can prepare the offer, we can assist them. Just tell me the price. Tell me which condition you wanted to put. Then we are going to prepare the offer, assist them. And then we have to using the 630 individual identification form to verify them. We have to know who is the person. We have to fill all the information for the 630 FINTRAC form. So that is the office we already update from the web form, from the scale slope. When you prepare the listing, you will see the actual form will be here. And also the agent get confused. If I'm the listing agent, if the buyer, they represent themselves, they don't have an agent. So what we should to do with the corporation confirmation form? So this is a form for the 330. As we know, this is confirmation, and we need to choose the number 1 and the A and the 2. So number 1A2 is set the seller acknowledge a designated representative or the seller brokerage is provide assistance to the buyer, and the buyer is a self-represented party. So lots of people will confuse commission. How about the commission? Because there's no cooperating brokerage. We leave the cooperating brokerage empty. We leave the cooperating brokerage name, the salesperson empty. We just leave all the initial signature for the cooperating brokerage empty. So how about the commission? Usually, there's no difference. The buyer, they don't have an agent. That means they don't have a cooperating brokerage represent them. That means the listing agent, you are entitled to get a whole commission. So you don't need to give up the commission unless you talk to the buyer, you talk to the seller, the both party agree to reduce the commission rate. Otherwise, you are entitled as a listing agent to get a full commission. So don't get confused. There's no cooperating brokerage. That means we are the listing brokerage. We represent the seller. The seller give the full commission, let's say 5%, 4.5% to the total commission. And you are entitled to get a full commission unless you are willing to reduce. But you should get both parties agreed. Okay, so any question, please put in the chat or just after, we are quickly to finish the training and we can discuss after the, I think a lot of people get confused with the self-represented party, how to dealing with a commission issue. So we should treat that very clear. And the case study, let's see the first one, overseas buyer. Because the overseas buyer, if we never know them, meet them, do any business with them before, it's a brand new buyer. So you should get a lawyer or accountant or other professional people to do the mandatory, verify their ID. So what we should to keep on the file. The form is 632. Remember 632, if you never use, by any chance, open the 632 and see the form. At the same time, you need the 633 to let your client get a consent, their consent to the third party to verify that. The case is number 2, the buyer contact listing agent directly. That is the most happened recently. So what or how to verify the identity. That means when they prepare the offer, when you introduce the self-represented party, the process, and when they prepare the offer, we have to ask them, can you provide me the driver's license and another photo ID? Usually we ask 2 photo ID. The first one, driver's license. The second one, passport or PR card or any other photo ID or ID. So 2 ID will be great, at least 1 ID. So you should to get verify their ID put all the information to the form 630. And if their corporation name to buy, you should get the first one, who is the signing officer. You need to ask a signing officer to fill the form 630. And also you need to get the corporation information to fill the corporation identification for the 631. At the same time, you need a 636. 636 is going to be show the corporation structure. Case number 3, the corporation buyer verified by mandatory. How to document? We already talked about that. It's the same as like the first one, and you need to get the lawyer, accountant, any professional people to verify them by using the form 632. And also at the same time, you need to ask the client to send the form 633. You should keep all the information. So we are going to quickly recap. Effective October 1st, it's going to be very quick in the next 2 weeks. So what will be effect? The first one, if you have any client, you never meet with them. Before is the person, like an individual. But after October 1st, any of the buyer or seller, their corporation, we have to using the mandatory verify form to verify that. So that is the one number, the key change for the first one. The second one is for the broker must verify the unrepresented party. So I think the self SRP is for a while, for like maybe a half a year or 1 year. But a lot of people just, to help them prepare the offer, that's it. So now from the October 1st, we have to keep their identification information. We have to verify them. We have to know who they are, fill the information for the identification form 630. And if they are using the corporation name to buy, we have to fill the 630, 631, and the 636. So that is the mandatory compare the new update, compare the new update. So we are going to take the training. This is the training before the October 1st. So there's only 2 updates. Think about your own business. If there's any business applied, you should follow this new update. Okay, so that is the 20 minutes. We finish all the new update. It's not too much information, only 2 parts. And now we're going to open to everyone. If you have any question regarding the FINTRAC, regarding the update, or even regarding any other question related, you can feel free to ask. Okay, we have a question. And the question is about after October 1st, if the seller is a corporation, do we need using the form 632 or 633 to verify? Okay, so this question, I think the important is if you are not able to see your client in person to verify. Let's say your buyer is in USA, in China, in whatever the overseas. You cannot verify them in person. Yes, you have to use 632, 633, ask some lawyer, ask some accountant to do the verify. But if the person is, you are able to meet with them, you are able to see with them, So you don't need to use the mandatory verify method. Thank you, Tony. Tony Shaw. Yeah, I think a lot of people confuse with SRP because the SRP we usually looks like easy to deal, but in reality it's very difficult to deal. But anyway, if you have any question regarding the FINTRAC, regarding SRP, so you can feel free to contact our office, contact any of our manager. We are able to help. Okay, Tony Lin just came. I'm not going to repeat everything. It's very simple to update. And we have a video. We are going to upload this video to the office website so you can quickly recap, rewatch it. So there's the main update is using the agent or mandatory verify the client ID. The next one is unrepresented party. You need to get their FINTRAC ID. So basically, there's only two very easy update. Okay, so if we don't have any question, I think that's all for today. And oh, I forget to open my camera. After finish, yes, here. Thank you, everybody, and see you later. Any question, feel free to contact us. We are able to help.